What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Looks like I'm talking to myself here. Hey, I see some comments. Hey, Jason. Whoa, everybody's jumping in here all one time. Hi, Jace. Danny. Let Freedom Ring. Laugh my ass off. Texas Bud. Freedom Fighters. New now. Cowboys Nation. Hey, Cowboy Nation, when did you become a member? Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know if you checked. Hey, Cowboys! I don't know if you checked the community tab on my channel page, um, but there is a community post just for members, especially new members. Make sure you go over there and check it out because there's instructions on what you have to do to get a little thank you gift for becoming a member from the Junkyard News, because we definitely appreciate it. Hey, Jason, we just wanted to do a good. I'm just waking up, you guys. I still got my coffee. Oh, and I feel like a traitor because I didn't use my Chiefs cup this morning for my coffee. So I already failed this morning. Already failed. So, Pinky in the Brain, Pinky in the Brain. Dude, that was a cool cartoon. Valley of the Suns, coffee and games. Oh, hey, coffee. Got my coffee right here. Utah. Pamela, I got family out in Utah. My dad's buried out in Utah. So is my stepmom. So I'm well familiar and I love Utah. Glad to see you. Chuck Andy says, I'm first. I got thumbs up. Hi, Silver. Good to see you. Thank you for becoming a member, by the way. Eric, Reverend Fuzzy. That's cool. I like that. Zombie. Good to see you, Zombie. Hey, Beth. There's a lot of you in here now. Hey, Tom. How's it? Good morning. Tom Wood. Good to see you. Lisa. How's everybody doing this morning? Most of you, if not all of you, or some of you, saw the live stream yesterday where I was acting kind of goofy. Hope you got a laugh out of that. I was in a goofy type mood, waving to everybody. I was trying to do like the whole good cop, bad cop thing. You have Furry running static for a future video. being the serious one, and then you had me being the lighthearted one, waving to everybody, saying "I love you." And that girl goes running out. I love you too, and it's my birthday. That was funny. I thought that was like the funniest part of the whole video. Was that girl, and then her parents yelling at her and telling her to get inside. Hopefully they didn't take the switch out and beat her for talking to us like that. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Tom. I do. Greetings from Scotland. Well, greetings right back from across the pond. Edward, good to see you. Minnesota. How's it going, Rob? Just want to go live this morning. I'm just waking up. I wanted to get this done and over with because, well, to be perfectly honest, full transparency, I got quite a honey-do list I got to do today. I did some of it yesterday before I went out with Furry to do that video, that live stream, but I didn't get it all done yesterday. So I'm pretty much jailed up today doing chores. Yeah, Junkyard. I got the leash on today, so woke up, decided to get this live stream done today and talk about a controversial and upsetting topic. And we're gonna talk about the arrest complaint, the statement of probable cause that the police wrote up to file charges and get that warrant for Kyle Rittenhouse. And for those who don't know, Kyle Rittenhouse was a 17-year-old at the protest in Kenosha that ended up shooting some people. And we all have opinions on that. We all have, what we think, and so do I. And we can have a discussion. We can talk like civilized people, and some of us may disagree, and we can. Doesn't mean we have to, yell, rant, hate just because we disagree. I mean, that's a good thing about this country. People can talk and have an opinion. You have a right to an opinion, without getting nasty about it. I mean, just because you don't like somebody else's opinion doesn't mean you have to go off on a tirade. I mean, but that's just me. I mean, that's just me. I way, way, way back, farther than I like to remember, when I was in high school, in my social not social studies, but it was like my history class was like a cross between social studies and history. But my teachers back in high school told me I should be on the debate team. Like, nah, I ain't gonna be on no stupid debate team. Are you kidding me? I don't want to extracurricular activities. Forget you. I'm going home to party. I hated school growing up. I did. But so we're going to talk about this. I'll call it laughable probable cause affidavit that the police filed to get the warrant for Rittenhouse. If a cop ever wanted to bow to public pressure and arrest somebody, but wanted, in my opinion, I guess the opinions expressed here are just that, opinions. If a cop ever wanted, or a detective ever wanted, to stack the deck in a defendant's favor, I know. I just can't believe what came out of my mouth. An law enforcement officer stacking the deck in the favor of the person that they were arresting and getting a warrant for. This is a prime case. I mean, it is written. It is written. I can't even explain it. It is written to almost make sure that the warrant would fail, one, or it was written to get the kid found not guilty. I mean, they laid out in almost every paragraph of the summary, they made his case for him for self-defense. They did. And I don't know. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of a cop wanting to arrest somebody for a crime. But, hey, Joe, how do we word this? How do we word this so either the warrant doesn't go through, or his attorney has or this guy could just defeat this in court by himself even. That's the kind of affidavit that they filed on this kid in Kenosha. It is laughable. I'll say right now, I put up a video. I do want to say I'm sorry. I'm going to look the camera, look at everybody, and say I'm sorry. I took down those other two videos I did when this all things happened on this kid, because even though in the video, I think it was labeled "Why I Think Kyle's Innocent" or whatever. I thought, I was of the opinion, because I had to work. I didn't have time to go through all the footage. I thought possibly the first person that was shot was Kyle was actually running over there to defend the injured guy or whatever. I didn't have all the information, so I took that video down because I was wrong, and I'll admit I was 100% wrong. Kyle shot that first guy. He did. That video was such a foul ball. I mean, it was oh my God. Even I'm embarrassed by it, but I was a shot in the dark. I didn't have all the information. So I'm going to backpedal like a lot of agencies do, news agencies and stuff, when they get a story wrong, or they haven't, they come out with a story with their opinion, and it was way off base. So that's me. I did it. Don't kill me. But yeah, I took those videos down because the first one was, I could have left it up, but YouTube was kind of iffy on whether or not they wanted to keep it up or not, because you know how that goes with shootings and live shootings. So YouTube really, that's not community friendly. So I had to take that one down. And the second one, the why I think he's innocent or whatever, only because of my theory on the first person that I was totally wrong on. I took it down because it was wrong, and I don't want to spread wrong information. So, especially when more information's now come to light. So I got that out of my system. I backpedaled on that video. It's gone, and I apologize for the misinformation. I even put in the video, though, I don't have all the facts. This is a opinion based on what I've seen so far. Don't take it as fact, yada, yada, yada. So I had put in disclaimers on the video that this could be totally wrong. I even said I could be wrong. But still, a lot of people were like, you know, never mind. Let's get past that. All right, let's get past that. He wasn't playing, and his age doesn't mean junk. No, I'll tell you right now, as we get into this affidavit for probable cause, I'll tell you right now, the only thing, and this is, again, my opinion, all right? In my opinion, the only charge that's going to possibly stick, and he'll probably plead down, is going to be the minor open carrying a long gun. I mean, the law does carve out an exemption for hunting and stuff like that, but he wasn't hunting. He was out there with the rest of the boogaloos or whatever. And the cop, a couple of the cops knew him personally. Heck, one even threw him water. Hey, Kyle, you need water? Yeah, I could use some water. And they threw him some water in one of the videos. They knew this kid. But if there is, I'll say it again for anybody just joining, if there was ever a case where an officer was compelled to file an affidavit of probable cause and a warrant, but really didn't believe what he was writing or wanted to write it in a way that made it an easy win for the defendant, this is it. This is the affidavit. All right. Before we get into it, though, I want to give away a gift card today for everybody that's watching the live stream. I know we only got 55 people in here. I was hoping to have a little bit more. But we're going to do live chat. I'm going to ask you the question. I'm going to ask you a question right now. Everybody in here, pay attention. You want free? It's good. It's not going to be much. It's going to be a $20 gift card. I mean, does somebody want a $20 gift card out there? I'm going to give one away right now. But the winner, whoever wins this, you have to email the junkyardnews@gmail.com with a mailing address. I mean, if you have a PO box, that's fine. Doesn't matter. I need a way to get it to you. All right. And please don't wait like 2 weeks to send the email because I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget and have time go by or whatever. So, yeah, there's 59. We're going on 60. So, before we get into the affidavit here, let's give a gift card away. Like I said, I had created a post in the community page about giving away gift cards because an anonymous donor had donated some money to do some giveaways, give away some gift cards. And in a future video, maybe a future live stream, I will be giving away to anybody that wants it. I will be giving away access to Furry Industries website, to Furry Potatoes website. So you want to get on Furry's website, but you don't have the money. Well, here's your chance, because we're gonna be doing a 1 month access to Furry Potato website, the furryindustries.com or whatever it is. So News Now Netherlands. Good to see you. All right. This question, this pop quiz, Whoever's the first to put the answer in the chat, and you know what? We're not gonna put it in the chat. We're not gonna put it in the chat. That's gonna be too crazy, and it might be a difficult question. So, and it'll be easier to see who the first one is if you email it to me. All right. So, if you're on a computer, you have a little bit of an advantage here. Okay, a little bit of an advantage. So, what I want to do, everybody, you got a pen and piece of paper? The junkyardnews@gmail.com, or open up a browser, your email browser, type in the junkyardnews@gmail.com, and get your fingers ready to type in and send that email with the answer, because the email, I'll know which one was the first correct answer by how it comes in on the email. All right. Somebody email me the answer to this question. And the question is, on what video on my YouTube channel, which video was the very first video, and I'll even give a hint, that an Orange County Sheriff's deputy of elderly age, I'll make it even easier. He's not really, really old, but this guy was kind of old compared to me and compared to a lot of people. This guy was old. But in which video, and it's an earlier video, which video was the very first video that shows an Orange County Sheriff's deputy telling me for the first time ever on any one of my videos, and I quote, "Take your hands out of your pockets, okay?" That's a hard one. You may have to do some homework on this. All right. That's the question. And heck, I'll even make it a $25 gift card, Visa gift card, $25. Free money to the first email I get on my email address. You have to tell me the video. You have to, in the email, not in the chat. We're going to do it by email. All right. The very first video. I didn't wear a thong on a beach, Patrick. Come on. Yeah. My very first video where I had an older Orange County Sheriff's Department deputy standing in front of a certain police station telling me to take my hands out of my pocket. It's the first time I've ever had a deputy ask me to take my hands out of my pocket on video on my channel. I was playing with myself. Pocket pull. I wasn't playing pocket pull. I'm going to give another hint here. And anybody that searches my channel and wants to do it fast, this may be too good of a hint. It was the police station in Aliso Viejo. And actually, it was the sheriff's department station in Aliso Viejo. That's your hint. Aliso Viejo. Now there's a couple videos that have that, compilation videos that have that that clip in it. I mean, I've used it quite a bit, but the main video is what I'm looking for, and it's an early video. So first email I get with that answer, the title of that video. If you even want to put a link to the video in the email, go for it, just to make sure we get it right. And then if you're the first one that emailed me the correct answer, I'll reply and say congrats. Send me your mailing address, and I will get that gift card sent out in the next couple of days. It'll probably go out on Monday, maybe Tuesday. All right. Let's go. That would be about €20 that I can immediately surrender to my city council bullies, for I'm on benefits right now. Buffering. Well, I'll even mail it across the pond. I will. I don't care. Worldwide. As long as you can use a Visa card where you're at, a Visa gift card, you're eligible. I just don't want to send it to anybody like out that has nowhere to swipe it. There's nowhere to swipe it. But yeah, there we go. We've got that taken care of, and I'll check my email later, and I'll reply to the winner and ask for a mailing address. Done. That's the first gift card of many. In a future video, again, we will be also giving away a month subscription to Furry Potato's website. And we're going to probably be doing this, I don't know, twice a month, the gift card giveaway. Maybe even once a week. Maybe I'll do it every, normally I wait on Sundays to do my live streams. Hey, it is Sunday too, right? All right, cool. So yeah, every Sunday. Sunday fun day is what furry would say. Yeah, every Sunday live stream. If I get busy and I can't do a live stream on Sunday, well, the next live stream after that, we'll give away another gift card. We're gonna just keep going. There's a pool, a donation pool for giveaways, and we're gonna keep giving stuff away until it's empty, and that may take a year. This whole giveaway thing could take a year to spend this money, this donation. Specific purpose for the donation was giveaways. So, and no, this video isn't sponsored by anybody. It was an anonymous donor. Shall remain anonymous. So, all right, cool. All right, we got that done. Let's see. Did I miss something? Hi, United Watcher. Hey, we're just giving away gift cards and talking about just about anything. We'll open the stream to anybody that wants to join the stream and talk about anything, including what we're about to go over. So let's get into this. All right. Everybody knows that, everybody should know that the 17-year-old Silver doesn't enter giveaways. I want someone else to win. That's very kind of you, Silver. That the 17-year-old in Kenosha turned himself in and stuff like that. And they're having an extradition hearing, whenever that is, to extradite him across the state line to answer to these charges on this probable cause affidavit, right? Which again is a joke. So let's just get into it, okay? Let's just get into it. After I have a sip of coffee. I'm still waking up here. All right, so let's add this to the stream. What we have here, whoop, there we go. What we have here is the affidavit, the criminal complaint against Kyle Rittenhouse. All right. And if you notice, it's colorized with the circuit clerk of the circuit court. This is an official document. Has not been edited, altered in any way. I'll even post a link to it here. Hold on. If I'm not going over this fast enough and somebody wants to read it, there's the online link to the document on the cloud. Okay. Now, the beginning of it just talks about the counts. Count 1, first-degree reckless homicide. Count 2, first-degree reckless endangerments of safety, yada, yada, yada. 3, first-degree. We don't really have to read into that. Those are just the charges, all right? The meat and potatoes of the whole affidavit here is the probable cause statement. That's all we're really concerned about, because these are the facts as they claim that they want to prove his guilt in court. This is the meat of it right here. The probable cause affidavit. So your complainant spoke with Sergeant so-and-so, Detective Howard, Detective Cypress, Detective Kenosha Police Department, who provided the following information. On August 25th, 2020, an 8 p.m. curfew had been imposed. east of I-94 in Kenosha due to civil unrest. On August 25th at approximately 11:45 p.m., a shooting occurred at Car Source, which is located at the northwest corner of 63rd Street and Sheridan Road in the city of Kenosha. City and county of Kenosha, state of Wisconsin. The man who was shot at this location was identified as Joseph Rosenbaum. Rosenbaum was transported to the local hospital, which of course was like right across the street, where a doctor declared him to be deceased on August 26, 2020 at 12:47 a.m. So this is the first suspect. This is the one I speculated possibly that Kyle hadn't shot, but I was wrong. Now, the main witness, and I guess I can call him an impartial witness because he wasn't like with Kyle. He didn't know Kyle, I should say, but he had been following Kyle around and the other armed, boogaloo armed people watching over businesses for a long time. I think he was the one that actually did an interview with Kyle before the shooting had actually occurred. But that's their main witness. That's their main witness. Is the guy that was right behind Kyle. In the course of investigating this incident, law enforcement reviewed and shared with your complainant multiple videos that appeared to be recorded on cell phones. In the first video, a male who was later identified to be Kyle Rittenhouse, there's DOB or whatever, yada, 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 hereinafter called the defendant, is a resident in Illinois. The defendant can clearly be seen holding a long gun, which was later recovered by law enforcement and identified as a Smith & Wesson AR-15 style .223 rifle. The recovered magazine for the rifle holds 30 rounds of ammunition. Following the defendant is Rosenbaum, and trailing behind the defendant and Rosenbaum is a male who was later identified by Richard McGinnis, a reporter. Yes, a citizen reporter, a YouTuber, vlogger, whatever. So McGinnis is like supposedly impartial. Okay, doesn't know Kyle. He may know some of the protesters or whatever, but to the best of my knowledge, this guy, their star witness, that saw everything and he was right there, is an impartial witness. All right. The video shows now. They're gonna talk about that first shooting. Everybody thinks the headshot killed this guy. The headshot was a graze wound. The headshot did not kill this guy. He was hit 5 times, and like maybe 2 to 3 of the other shots actually was the reason for his death. The video shows that as they they cross the parking lot, Rosenbaum appears to throw an object at the defendant. The object does not hit the defendant, and a second video shows, based on where the object landed, that it was a plastic bag. Now, one thing I don't like about that is if you look at that video where you can actually see Rosenbaum throw something at Kyle as he's running away, trying to get away from protesters and whatever. No shots have been fired by him. And this guy's chasing him down. He throws like a bag. But if it was only a bag, if it was only a plastic shopping bag, and he would have thrown it, it would have fluttered in the air and not even gone anywhere. This thing had distance. I don't know what was in it. I don't know if it was a Gatorade, rocks, brick, donuts. I have no idea what was in it, but there was something in the bag, because that bag he threw, it went a distance. Okay. So I do find it interesting that they don't say what was in the bag. They just say, he threw a plastic bag at him. Well, what was in the bag is important. I want to know that, but we don't have that answer yet. So Rosenbaum appears to be unarmed for the duration of this video. A review of the second video shows the defendant and Rosenbaum continue to move across the parking lot and approach the front of a black car parked in the lot. So you have the 17-year-old kid that has a rifle. claims to be there to defend property. And he gets into, I guess, some of the other Boogaloo armed guys were having quite heated conversations with protesters. There's videos before all this happened, and there's some protesters. They're having some pretty heated exchange of words. These armed guys are getting yelled at and stuff like that. And on the videos that I saw, most of them weren't yelling back or anything like that. They were just taking it. But somehow Kyle gets separated from these guys, and Rosenbaum decides to chase him down. Again, as of yet, Kyle hasn't shot or done anything, and he's got this guy running after him. This man chasing a 17-year-old boy. Now, keep in mind, all three, if I remember a source right, I think everybody, I believe, it's in my opinion, if I remember right, everybody that was shot by Kyle that night, not that it excuses anything, but had felonies on their record. And I think Rosenbaum, this first guy, it might have been one of the others. One of these guys actually was arrested and charged for choking women, literally attacking and choking women. And he had one of these guys had a conviction for that. But whatever. Let's just keep going. Let's see. A review of the second video. Parking lot. A loud bang is heard on the video. Then a male, they don't classify who, a male says, F you. Then Rosenbaum appears to continue to approach the defendant and gets in near proximity to the defendant when 4 more loud bangs are heard. So right there you have a 17-year-old that hasn't, shot anybody yet, is there, in my opinion, should never have been there. But he's armed for his self-defense and the protection of property, And he's got some man chasing him, yelling at him. I don't know if he was just trying to scare him or what, but if I was that 17-year-old, I'd be freaked out too and trying to get away from this guy and run away. Just leave me alone, help, police, whatever. But yeah, so it says right there that Rosenbaum, a loud bang is heard on the video. Then a male shouts F you. Then Rosenbaum appears to continue to approach the defendant. So it says right there in the affidavit that one is Kyle was retreating. He kept trying to get away from people. Maybe he had enough and he wanted to try to get somewhere where he can be picked up and go home. Who knows? But he's running away from a man chasing him who has a criminal record. I believe of felonies as well. And this guy is aggressively going after him. And you hear the pop. Then Rosenbaum appears to continue to approach the defendant and gets in near proximity to the defendant when 4 more loud bangs are heard. So that's 5 shots. 5 shots on Rosenbaum. And Rosenbaum falls to the ground. The defendant then circles behind the black car and approaches Rosenbaum, who's pretty much on the ground, if you look at the video. Rosenbaum remains on the ground. McGinnis, who approaches. Now, in that video, you remember you saw that guy take his shirt off and try to render aid? Nothing they could have done was going to save this guy. All right. He was hit all 5 times with those rounds. Didn't miss. All right. They just didn't see the bullet holes, but the headshot was just a graze wound. The headshot didn't kill him. It was just a graze, a superficial wound. It's the ones they didn't see that killed him. The defendant appears to get on his cell phone and place a call. Another male approaches the defendant, turns and begins. And the defendant turns and begins to run away from the scene. As the defendant is running away, he can be heard yelling on the phone, "I just killed somebody." Well, and it's quoted. It's got the quotations. In the video I had posted, I amplified the audio as best I could. There's a lot of background noise, but it did sound to me like the exact words were, um, "I I just shot at somebody," but it's irrelevant at this point if he said that or he said I just killed somebody. Um, Detective Cypress interviewed McGinnis. McGinnis, again, is the reporter that's supposed to be impartial, indicates the following. Okay, now this is their key witness, their eyewitness statement here. And I want you to really pay attention to this. This is the important part. This is the one that the state's going to base their case on because he was front and center, heard, saw everything, and supposedly he's impartial, right? Before the shooting, McGinnis was interviewed. McGinnis had interviewed the defendant. The defendant told McGinnis, the reporter, that he was a trained medic. McGinnis stated that he had handled many ARs and that the defendant was not handling the weapon very well. Well, yeah, Kyle did have a 1-point sling, and he's a shorter young man, so it was he should have been a 2-point harness is what he should have been, in my opinion. If he was going to be out there with a sling like that, it should have been in a 2-point. But yeah, let's just keep going. Defendant was not handling the weapon very well. McGinnis said that as they were walking south, another armed male who appeared to be in his 30s joined them and said that he was there to protect Kyle. All right, so there was another boogaloo guy or armed person somewhere around keeping an eye on Kyle. McGinnis stated that before the defendant reached the parking lot and ran across it, the defendant had moved from the middle of Sheridan Road to the sidewalk, and that when McGinnis saw a male, Rosenbaum, initially tried to engage the defendant. So their witness is saying that Kyle ran out of this, across the street or whatever, jumped onto a sidewalk, and he was all of a sudden pursued and approached by Rosenbaum, the guy that was the first one that gets shot. McGinnis stated that as the defendant was walking, Rosenbaum was trying to get closer to the defendant. All right, so he's being stalked by this guy. Kyle hasn't shot anybody or anything like that. He's being followed and stalked by this man. The 17-year-old boy is being stalked by this man who has been yelling, screaming, and verbal and menacing in other videos. When Rosenbaum advanced, the defendant did a juke move, parentheses juke, kind of like a football juke move, and started running. So in other words, Kyle started to run away from this guy following him. McGinnis stated that there were other people that were moving very quickly. McGinnis stated that they were moving towards the defendant. All right, so keep that statement in mind. More people are heading towards Kyle. Kyle hasn't shot anybody yet. All right. Right here, they're laying out a case that a mob was going after Kyle before Kyle had shot anybody. Okay, they were, kind of like a pack of wolves. They'll rush a herd of animals, deer or whatever, to get one to dart the opposite way of the others, and they'll focus on that one deer. Because you don't want to go after the whole herd, you just want to splinter the herd and find a single target. That's what the animals do in the wild, right? Well, it seems like it's pretty much the case here. They saw Kyle separated all by himself. Well, and another one was around, but not right next to Kyle. So let's see. So yeah, there it is. McGinnis stated that there were other people that were moving very quickly. McGinnis stated that they were moving towards the defendant. McGinnis said that according to what he saw, the defendant was trying to evade these individuals. And Kyle hasn't shot anybody. He's got a group of people following him, trying to get closer to him. And he's trying to move. He's trying to get away. He doesn't want to have anything to do with these people, according to the eyewitness who is supposed to be impartial. He's trying to evade them. I would too. McGinnis, the citizen reporter, journalist, impartial McGinnis, described the point where the defendant had reached the car. McGinnis described that the defendant had the gun at a low ready position, which means he's holding it, but the barrel's pointed towards the ground. If you know what the low ready is, he's not holding it like this. He's holding it like this. And that would make sense with a 1-point sling. The gun is pretty much there already. And if you're running, it's going to knock your knees really bad if you're a shorter guy. So he's holding it, but the barrel's pointed at the ground as he's evading these people, right? At the low ready position, meaning that he had the gun raised but pointed downward. The butt of the gun would have been at an angle downward from the shoulder. So he's got the butt, the stock here, and pointed down at the ground. Not pointing it, waving it at anybody. McGinnis stated that the defendant, meaning Kyle, brought the gun up. McGinnis stated that he stepped back and he thinks the defendant fired 3 rounds in rapid succession. McGinnis said when the first round went off, he thought it hit the pavement. Well, at first, the witness thought it was a accidental discharge or negligent discharge or a warning shot or something like that. McGinnis felt something hit his leg. At first, he thought he was wondering if he had gotten shot by a ricochet or whatever, but he wasn't. McGinnis was behind and slightly to the right of Rosenbaum, which was the guy that was chasing Kyle, and in the line of fire when the defendant shot and fired his weapon. McGinnis stated that the first round went into the ground, and when the second shot went off, the defendant actually had the gun aimed at Rosenbaum. McGinnis said he did not hear the two exchange any words. McGinnis said that the unarmed guy, Rosenbaum, was trying, okay, get this, this is important, was trying to get the defendant's gun. The man shot, stalking and menacing and going after the 17-year-old kid, was trying to get the defendant's gun. I'm sorry, if I'm open carrying and you go for my gun, what happens if you go for a cop's gun? The same thing. You try to take my property, especially a firearm from me, and bad things are going to happen. So that's really important on this criminal complaint. From their star witness was Rosenbaum was trying to get the defendant's gun. McGinnis demonstrated by exerting both of his hands in a quick grabbing motion and did that as a visual on how Rosenbaum tried to reach for the defendant's gun. So in his interview, he showed the cops how Rosenbaum was reaching for Kyle and his weapon. Okay. What happens to people when they go after auditors? A lot of auditors out there, or some auditors, when you try to reach for and grab a First Amendment auditor's camera in public, you get spicy, right? Your life gets spicy. Well, pretty much the same thing here. You reach for my property, you stalk, harass, and you come after me and my property, and bad things are going to happen. You have to expect that. All right? People have a right to defend themselves, whether it's pepper spray or their weapon. It's no different. The principle is the same. Okay. Let's see, where'd we go here? I'm sorry, I'm not even reading the chat. I'm sure you guys are blowing it up and yelling at me right now. But heck, this is their words right here. All right. So McGinnis said the defendant made a motion that he was trying to grab the barrel of the gun. McGinnis stated that the defendant pulled it away from Rosenbaum and then raised it. McGinnis stated that right as they came together again, well, it doesn't say again, it just came together, the defendant fired. McGinnis said that when Rosenbaum was shot, he had leaned in towards the defendant. So when Kyle pulled the trigger, Rosenbaum was trying to grab him, trying to grab his gun, and was in the process of leaning in at the defendant or at Kyle when the shots went off. To me, from the eyewitness, star witness's own words right there, classic self-defense. Classic self-defense. It doesn't you want a conviction? Why I don't know. It's there. I'm sorry. I'm at a loss for words because all right. Right there. It's right there in the criminal complaint. McGinnis stated that after the defendant shot, he ran back towards the hospital, towards the middle of the road. McGinnis stayed and turned his attention to Rosenbaum. McGinnis stated that he then heard other shots really soon after. All right, so there we go. There's shooting number one. All right. Now, I know you guys are probably, let me go back to StreamYard, okay? Let's see what Roz is saying here. Why does this read this way? Because so much is on the line that they want to make sure that any lawyer, any judge in any court will toss this entirely so they can keep current case law. Probably. I mean, I've never heard, they say cops exaggerate and they skew their words to lean towards the side of a conviction. This is reading so far. Now, this is just the first incident. This is the first shot. This shot is what starts everything. This is the most important piece of evidence right here in the whole case. Even though other people got shot down the line, this started it all. This is the Pandora's box. You open this and you know what you got to keep in mind. If Kyle in this first shooting, the very first in Rosenbaum's shooting, is found not guilty, or gets dismissed or dropped, but if he's found not guilty in this first shooting, the rest fall. The rest fall. They're gone. Because the premise of the other individuals that were shot, all right, was this guy just murdered somebody, committed a crime. So we're going to try to detain him and take his gun and be heroes and stop him for the cops. All right. That was their belief. Some possibly. I don't know what's in their mind. I really don't. But the impression I get were the ones that were shot down the line were doing so possibly because they were trying to detain somebody who just shot somebody for the police. Why Kyle didn't stay right there? Was he scared? Was there more people coming? The camera doesn't turn around. It doesn't really turn around. If they go right to the injured man and they try to, they put the t-shirt on the guy's head, but this guy was shot more than just in the head. The head was a graze wound. I said a graze wound. I said it already. He was shot. It shattered his pelvis, probably cut the artery. He was shot in the hand. I mean, this guy was hit like all, and there's a medical examiner's, the autopsy's in here as well. If you skip ahead, if you open that link and skip ahead, you can hear Kyle hit this guy with all 5 of those shots. All right. It was not the headshot that killed him. That was just a scratch. It was the ones that they didn't see, that there was nothing they can do. Nothing they could do for this guy. He was dying, and that's that. He was gone. The pelvis shot that shattered the pelvis, probably separated the lacerated the artery or whatever, the bone fragments probably, or the round itself, and he bled out. Might have been internal, but he bled out. I think there was we'll get into it, but the pelvis shot was probably the one that got him. But yeah, All right, let's keep going into this here. But yeah, just keep that in mind. This first shooting is critical. Critical. Because again, if a jury finds that this first shot and shooting, this Rosenbaum shooting was self-defense and he's not guilty, then the rest of it, what happens later is irrelevant. All right? What happens later is irrelevant because the prosecutor is going to be probably taking, my opinion, going to be taking the stand that these other three people that were shot, they were just trying to detain the guy. They were trying to help the police. They were trying to take the gun away so no one else would get hurt. All right. I do also find it interesting that the only ones shot were people that were advancing or attacking this kid. Okay. There's people with their hands up close to him, backing away. He doesn't shoot them. Just the people that were attacking him. And if he's found not guilty on Rosenbaum, the rest of it is irrelevant because it means the people that were trying to get him down the road had no right to do it. Had absolutely no right to do it because they assumed that he had done something wrong. So we're going to be heroes and stop him for the cops to come get. All right. So again, for the fifth time, Rosenbaum is critical for the rest of the case. Again, my opinion, I'm not a lawyer, but it makes sense. Okay. The third video that your complaint and review shows the defendant running northbound on Sheridan Road after he had shot Rosenbaum. So he shot the guy, and instead of sticking around and letting more and more people come up to him and things getting really, really bad or worse, he decides to take off. Now, they interview Kyle. Kyle talked to him. I don't know. It doesn't say in here what Kyle said, what he told the cops. But I'd be interesting to know if, when this case does come to light, what he told the cops. Did he call the cops, I ran away because people were coming after me and I was going to run and look for a cop? I don't know. Who knows? He runs from that scene. Let's see here. And the defendant's running northbound on Sheridan Road after he had shot Rosenbaum. The street and the sidewalk are full of people. A group of several people begin running northbound on Sheridan Road behind the defendant. A person could be yelling what sounds like, beat him up. Beat him up. In other words, attack that guy. Another person could be heard yelling what sounds like, hey, he shot him. Your complainant reviewed a fourth video that showed a different angle of the defendant running northbound. In this video, a person could be heard yelling, get him, get that dude. What is he, a cowboy? The dude, get that dude. Then a male in a light-colored top runs towards the defendant and appears to swing at the defendant with his right arm. I showed that in that first video I took down. All right. The swing makes contact with the defendant, knocking his hat off. So, if the first killing was self-defense, personally, according to their own affidavit, I believe it was. Their own witness, their own affidavit, I believe that first killing was self-defense, justified self-defense against, a guy attacking a 17-year-old, trying to steal his property, trying to grab his gun without any, he had no right to do that. And now these people are yelling at him. And if there was no crime committed there, it was classic self-defense. All of a sudden, people are yelling at people to get that dude. He just shot somebody. Now that is a correct statement. And now you have somebody running up against this kid that's possibly he's running down the street, and there are cops farther down the street. You can see the red and blue lights. So I can only assume that he's running towards the police to get help or get out of the situation, or tell them, hey, I shot somebody. Some guy needs help over there, and yes, here, I want to turn myself in. Yada yada yada. Who knows? But he's running down the street towards lights down the road. So the swing makes contact and knocks his hat off. The defendant continues to run northbound. On the video, a male can be heard saying something to the effect of, "What'd he do?" And another male could be heard yelling, responding something to the effect of, "Just shot someone." Then a male can be heard yelling, "Get his ass!" Get his ass. Somebody yelling, "Beat him up." Now Kyle's probably hearing this as he's jogging. All right, he's probably hearing some of this. Beat him up. Get his ass. And somebody that hits him from behind and knocks his hat off probably does make contact with the back of his head also with his fist. But he's still running. The defendant continues to run northbound. On the video, a male responding something to the effect of, "He just shot someone." Male could be, or get his ass. Then the defendant trips and falls to the ground. And that's when things really get real. All right. As the defendant is on the ground, an unidentified male wearing a dark colored top and light colored pants jumps at and over the defendant. Based on the sounds of gunshots on the video and the positioning of the defendant's gun, it appears that he fires 2 shots in quick succession at the second person. First person was Rosenbaum earlier. Second person, who was later identified as Anthony Huber. Let's see. Oh, yeah. It appears that the person... Oh, okay. I missed a sentence. 2 shots in quick succession. It appears the person was not hit as he then runs away from the defendant. So that first guy that jumped, it looks to me like he was doing some off the top rope wrestling move. Let's jump up and stomp on the kid's head, but he missed. Whether Kyle moved his head, I don't know, or he jumped over him. All right. 2 shots were fired. Apparently he didn't hit that kid that guy. And the guy ran. Yeah. Because it says right there, it appears that the person was not hit as he then runs away from the defendant. A second person, who was later identified as Anthony Huber, approaches the defendant, who is still on the ground, on his back. 17-year-old, scared and afraid, on his back. Only has his rifle to defend himself. Huber has a skateboard. This is important. Huber has a skateboard in his right hand. When Huber reaches the defendant, it appears that he is reaching for the defendant's gun with his left hand as the skateboard makes contact with the defendant's left shoulder. Now, it's interesting that they don't put in here if he possibly intentionally swung the skateboard, or was he trying to hit Kyle with the skateboard, or was he reaching for the rifle and just because he was holding it, it just happens to contact his shoulder? I don't know. They don't go into much detail, do they? They're leaving it open to interpretation. They're going to want the jury, and they're going to want the court to come up with their own conclusion and speculate on whether or not he intentionally swung and hit Kyle with the skateboard. But the main point, and that's, to me, that's kind of irrelevant. The main point is reached for Kyle's weapon, reached for his gun. Again, not justified. You just like you can't reach and grab and take away my camera when I'm out filming. You can't try to grab my property, my gun. Don't do it. Bad things are going to happen. And so he approaches the defendant, who's still on his ground on his back. Huber has a skateboard in his right hand. When Huber reaches the defendant, it appears that he is reaching for the defendant's gun with his left hand as the skateboard makes contact with the defendant's left shoulder. There's assault right there, or battery, whatever you want to call it. Huber appears to be trying to pull the gun away from the defendant. Pull the gun away, which means he's got hold of the barrel. He didn't just reach. The shot hasn't come yet. He steps forward. Skateboard hits him in the shoulder. He has a hold of Kyle's property, his gun, and he's trying to pull it away from Kyle. He's trying to take his property, take his gun away. Huber appears to be trying to pull the gun away from the defendant. The defendant rolls towards his left side, and as Huber appears to be trying to grab the gun is pointed at Huber's body. The defendant then fires one round, which can be heard on the video. Huber staggers away, taking several steps, then collapses on the ground. Huber subsequently died from this gunshot wound. If I remember right, where it talks about the autopsies, I think that's the guy that got hit. That shot hit that guy, took out his heart and his main arteries on his heart and his left lung. He was gone. It was no chance at all. Just like that, he lights out. And by this, it almost sounds like possibly the gunshot. If this is what they're trying to get people to think about, a jury to possibly think about, what happens if somebody's holding a gun like this, finger on the trigger, but not squeezing it yet, and somebody grabs and he pulls that weapon this way while your finger's still on the trigger? What's going to happen? Whether you intend to or not, your finger is going to pull that trigger as they're trying to pull the gun away from you, right into your chest. How stupid can you be? You want to try to pull a gun away from somebody? You don't have the barrel pointed right at your chest, dude. Well, you learned the hard way. Rest in peace. In any event, whether it was an accidental discharge from him trying to take his gun away or he pulled the trigger is irrelevant. According to this, according to their star witness, it was self-defense. Self-defense. Classic case. All right, let's get back to it. After shooting Huber, the defendant moves to a seated position. Kyle leans up. He's on his butt and points his gun as a third male, later identified as Cage. We're just going to call him Cage because the last name Graskowitz. I don't know. We'll call him Gage. Gage, who had begun to approach the defendant when the defendant shot at Huber. Gage freezes and ducks and takes a step back. Remember this in my first video. I believe this is the guy they're talking about. He does. He takes a step towards Kyle and then for a moment thinks about it and starts to back up like, oh crap. Now, after he takes a step back, Cage puts his hands in the air. Gage then moves all of a sudden towards the defendant, who aims his gun at Gage and shoots him, firing one shot. Another person coming after him. He's in fear for his life and safety. These people are attacking him. This guy's coming at him. You want to charge me when I'm on a First Amendment audit and I have pepper spray? You want to get in my space? You want to charge me aggressively? Guess what? You're going to get spicy. Pepper spray or a gun, doesn't matter. They're both tools to self-defense. And yeah, that's what happens. Right or wrong, that's what happens. And just like a cop, all they have to prove was Kyle was afraid and in fear of his life, safety, and his property, his gun. People had already tried to take that weapon from him. People had already attacked him, hit him in the back of the head, tried to stomp his head as they jumped over him. Mob mentality. they really laying this out for an acquittal. They are laying this out to get this kid off the hook. Now it's the truth. We have to assume it's the truth, right? This is impartial blogger, YouTuber, whatever. This citizen journalist doesn't know Kyle. Impartial, given these statements. All right. Let's see here. Where did I leave off? He was so Gage was shot in the right arm. That's the guy that his arm was turned into spaghetti. Gage appeared to be holding. Oh, now this is important. This is important. This guy that had his arm blown off, well, almost blown off, right here. Here's the defendant's, not the defendant's, but here's the eyewitness's own statement. Remember, this guy backed away and then charged. But it wasn't just the charging alone, right? Why did Kyle shoot? Was Kyle in fear for his life in this moment? Gage appears to be holding a handgun in his right hand when he was shot. So he's charging this kid with a gun in his hand. Handgun. I thought it was just these boogaloo guys that were armed. You mean there were protesters that had handguns and guns too? All right. Gage then runs southbound away from the defendant, screaming for a medic, and the defendant gets up and starts walking northbound. The defendant turns around facing southbound while walking backwards northbound with his firearm in the ready position, pointed towards the people in the roadway, just in case somebody else was going to cut. The guy already had like 3-4 people attack him, so I'd probably do the same thing. All right, so that ends the description of the events of the shooting. The rest of the affidavit talks about the autopsies, the medical examiners. And the first guy that was shot, that started all this, that lost his life, that everybody thought that it was the graze wound on the head that killed him. No, it's right here. Dr. Kelly, the medical examiner's office, conducted an autopsy of Rosenbaum. Dr. Kelly indicated that Rosenbaum had a gunshot wound to the right groin, which fractured his pelvis, a gunshot wound to the back, which perforated his right lung and liver, a gunshot wound to his left hand, a superficial gunshot wound to his lateral left thigh, and a graze wound to the right side of his forehead. It was the pelvis shot that probably did it. The doctor also conducted an autopsy of Huber, indicated that Huber had the gunshot wound to his chest that perforated his heart, aorta, pulmonary artery, and his right lung. That guy was done. That's the guy that was apparently trying to pull the gun away from him with the barrel pointed right at his heart. Wow. And pretty much that's the end of it. So what do you think? What do you think about that affidavit of fact and probable cause statement for the arrest? All right. Now, keep in mind, this kid's facing not only a life sentence for one of the charges, but a combined total of like 200 years for everything else. According to the way the complaint reads out, this kid's going to walk, with the exception of possibly minor being in possession. And then attorney, they could plea that one down. That's a misdemeanor. You watch this kid get away with either being found not guilty or charges being dropped for everything except minor in possession that he shouldn't have had because he was 17. He wasn't 18 yet. Now, granted, that state, Wisconsin, has a provision in their hunting and fishing regs that a 16 or 17-year-old can open carry like a long gun, but I think it stipulates hunting or fishing or something like that, kind of like the Florida statute says. Okay, so it carves out an exemption for 16 and 17-year-olds that are hunting. I haven't read that statute, but the lawyer he's got that's going to be doing this pro bono ever since. Do you guys hear that GoFundMe canceled the kid's fundraiser? It was up to like $800 and something $1,000, and it got shut off by GoFundMe. They canceled it, and once that happened, this real high-profile self-defense attorney on the East Coast, stepped up and said, "I've been blessed. I don't need money. I'm going to represent this kid." And this attorney is a good attorney. This lawyer, he's high profile. I think if I remember right, somebody had likened him to Shapiro or something, the OJ, if it don't fit, you must have quit. Or, he's supposed to be a really good attorney. So, yeah, this isn't going to go well for the state. And in my opinion, the only reason that they went after these charges on this kid is to postpone what's going to happen. You think they got protests in Kenosha right now? What do you think is going to happen if they wouldn't have filed anything on this kid? If they wouldn't have gone after an arrest on this kid, what do you think would have happened? Okay. We're going to go after him. We're going to file charges, put in a probable cause affidavit for a warrant for his arrest. Everybody calm down. Yes, we're not going to let this stand. Don't protest anymore. Don't get worse. Please don't get worse. And we'll have a trial a year or so down the line. By that time, this will probably all blow over. Yeah. Right. That's my gut instinct, is they only filed charges, so things didn't even get worse in Kenosha. They're just biding time. That's my opinion. Because the way they laid out that affidavit for probable cause, any attorney can beat that case. Even a public pretender can beat that case. I'm sorry. You could probably defend yourself and defeat that case. Again, just my opinion. Okay, so sorry I haven't been paying attention to the chat. If anybody's still on here, 32 people in here. If anybody wants to jump on and talk about this, and respect everybody's opinion, right or wrong, doesn't matter. We can have a conversation about this, and intelligent conversation. But yeah, if anybody wants to jump on the stream, let me post a link. If you have anything you want to say about this, anything at all, there you go. There's the stream. So I like to know what you guys think. I do. What do you think about that affidavit of probable cause? Let's see. So many people ignore Heller, McDonald, and what those mean. Yeah, can't type back in more coffee. Explain it to us. Some don't know. If I remember right, the Heller, specifically a McDonald, which was the case before Heller, and then Caetano, I don't know how I'm pronouncing that, was before McDonald. Those three cases, bam, 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 Heller being the most recent. Individuals can be armed. The Second Amendment can be armed for the purpose of self-defense. Just right then and there. That's pretty much the gist of it. All right. Or Heller first. Heller. Okay, maybe I got that backwards. Whatever. But Heller's the core. Heller was the core case in which made headlines and said, Second Amendment, people have a right to own firearms for the purpose and carry firearms for the purpose of self-defense. Now, if I remember right in Heller, they didn't designate specifically if that extends outside the home. But come on, back when the amendments were written, if you were part of the militia, you had to use your own firearm. What did that mean? When you went out to do training and stuff, honey, I'm going to the militia. We have some training to do. All right, dear. You grab your musket that's hanging above your fireplace and you take it with you outside and jump on your horse or your buggy or walk, carrying, most likely openly carrying, your firearm, because you have to get from point A to point B. That makes sense. I mean, you don't show up at training and go, gun, and the gun just magically appear in your hand. It's got to get from your home to the training ground or wherever you're going. The only way to get it there is to carry it, right? Sling it over your back and carry your musket. High pockets. No, I ended up selling my drone. I'm thinking of getting another one though. But no, I sold my Mavic Pro. It's gone. I have another one though. It buried somewhere. Another Mavic that I crashed. Maybe instead of buying another one, I'll send it to send it back and have them fix it. It'll probably cost me some money. It'll probably be cheaper than buying another one. But it got banged up, and I think it's flyable. It's just the camera. The camera got all screwed up and broken. The gimbal, everything. It wasn't a pretty sight. I hit a power line that I didn't see when I was flying it. It was just like a telephone wire. It was a really small, might even just been a grounding wire. Clipped it. It clipped the wire, and it pretty much nosedive into the ground. Right on the camera. It landed on the camera. So I think it's still flyable, but the camera is toast. Gimbal's toast, and the mount where it attaches to the Mavic Pro is toast. So that drone. Wait, is there drone footage of Rittenhouse? All right, we'll have to check that out. But again, if anybody wants to join the stream and talk about anything, including the affidavit of probable cause and the arrest complaint, feel free. The way it's laid out, the way they laid it out, and what the impartial witness that was there for the whole thing, including the videos, this kid's gonna get, he's gonna get away with it. He's gonna be found not guilty. And it all hinges. It does, in my opinion, it all hinges on Rosenbaum. That first shooting. Everything else rests in the balance on Rosenbaum. If the state or a jury finds that first shooting was justified self-defense, everything else falls like a domino. It all falls. Even in 10 years, a lot of laws still on the books because there were so many put in place for a century and a half under the false premise the Second Amendment did not apply to states. That's true. But you also have to remember, I saw that RAS. There's also, I don't remember the legalese or legal term for it, but if there is a law in the books that hasn't been enforced in like decades or something like that, there's a time frame, then it becomes null and void. If it's, I mean, like, there's laws on the books all over this country that are just ridiculous that they never took down, but they're null and void because they're not, they don't charge you with, they don't charge people. Don't quote me on this, but just to give you an example, there's an ordinance out there that says you can't flush your toilet Sunday after 10 o'clock or something like that. That's a ridiculous ordinance. How it became a law, I mean, that's an example. It may or may not be true, but I'm just giving an example of how stupid some of these laws that are on the books out there are out there. And it's not something that they can go after somebody for or would go after anybody for, because they're just ludicrous. So they pretty much, even though they're still on the books, they're null and void. You could do a search, and people actually made videos and stories about these laws. If you do a search on Google or YouTube or whatever, like the 10 stupidest, oldest laws you would never think existed that exist, or something like that, you just hunt them down, and you will laugh at some of these laws that are still on the books. They're ridiculous. Can't weed your garden before 8 a.m. or something like that. Yeah. A woman can't go outside her front door unless she's in a dress. Sorry, you can't wear jeans. You can't wear skinny jeans. You wear yoga pants. No. Got to be in a dress, or else we're going to cite you. No, there's stupid laws that are still on the books, but they're unenforceable. Bottom line, which one was that? I'm going to have to scroll up here. Oh, let's see. Let me scroll up. Junkyard, will you please play the new drone footage of the shooting? I can, if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. I don't want to infringe on anybody else's video and copyright on the stream, though. I guess we could talk about it and play a clip like news stories do. Drone footage. Kyle Rittenhouse. Let me see a search. News. I don't see anything coming up under news. Let's go back to all. Drone footage shows a third person was shooting at Kyle. Oh, really? Hold on 1 second here. That would be interesting. And that's not in the complaint affidavit as well. So. Baby. Ooh, they shoot you. I don't know if I want to play that. I'm trying to keep this. What I'll probably do is I'll probably grab a snippet of this. I'll probably grab a snippet of it and make a video, make a video about it or whatever. I don't want to put it on the stream because YouTube will flag it. But there is drone footage, and somebody is. I'll tell you what. I will put the link. I will put the link to this video. If this is the one you're talking about, I will put the link to it. I will promote this guy's video or whatever, just since you brought it up. But I'm not going to play it because I don't want YouTube to censor this live stream or flag it or anything like that. All right, there you go. I don't know what it shows. It's got audio. What it looked like in the few seconds that I just played it is somebody put the audio of one of the shootings, the Rosenbaum shooting, because you can hear the guy swear at Kyle or somebody, and then the gunshots. So they overlaid the one video audio on the drone footage and kind of mirrored it up. You know what I mean? And it's on the other side of that first shooting where the witness with his camera can't see what's going on the other side of the car. The drone footage is on the other side of the car. It's really dark. You can see people running. I don't know what it shows. I don't. But there's the link if you want to go check it out. I'll put it in the live chat. But the Second Amendment is not unlimited. That's what they say, right? And no, no matter what civil right you're trying to exercise, the courts have always said that time, place, and manner restrictions can apply. All right, exactly. So you always have to balance time, place, and manner in your exercising of your constitutional rights. But to give you an example of time, place, and manner, YouTuber comes across a police chase that ends in a crash and maybe even a shooting, something like that, and runs up with his camera as they're putting yellow tape. You can't cross the yellow tape, right? Well, I have a First Amendment right. I want to get a close-up shot of that, of the damage of the vehicle or of the body or get a close-up shot of this. So I want to cross the yellow tape. No. Time, place, and manner restrictions. This is a crime scene. Yellow tape's up. You can film, but you have to do it from the other side of the yellow tape. That's kind of what time, place, and manner restrictions are meant for. So that's just an example. No problem, Otto. Go to work, buddy. Time, place, and manner is fabricated as interstate commerce. Yeah, but we have to go by what the almighties in the black robe say, right? Doesn't matter what the Constitution says. That's what I'm being sarcastic there. I hope you can tell the sarcasm, but yeah, it is what it is. So I'm wondering, should I check my email and see if anybody answered the giveaway question? No, we'll save it for the community tab. So, originally I had posted on the community tab that these giveaways are going to be for memberships, but I was digging deep in the membership guidelines, and it would violate YouTube guidelines to hold raffles and contests just for members. In other words, when it comes to memberships, if you give one person something, you have to give all the members something. All right. So you can't do a promo and say, hey, just for members, I'm going to have a raffle and one member is going to win a new car or something like that. You can't do it. You'll get your memberships taken away. And they bury that in the guidelines. So you really got to be a lawyer and read all these stupid guidelines that YouTube puts out for new things that they come up with. So yeah, I had to take that post down on the community tab because as soon as I saw that, I didn't want to get flagged. So I took it down, and we have to pretty much everybody is in on these giveaways. And that's only right. It's only right. Members only jackets must be worn by members. Tom Wood, you're funny. There's no 50-50 draw keeper. What's that mean? 50-50 draw. I'm having a brain fart. I just seen a notification from Furry showing her in a wheelchair. What the F? Well, Furry was out there when I was live streaming, I thought Furry was going to be live streaming too, but she decided to let me do the live stream, and she went static for a future video. So she's probably now edited and posted a video of the video. The same live stream I did in Costa Mesa yesterday, when I was acting goofy, telling people I love them and waving to them, just having some fun, not being too serious. So she probably just uploaded her static video, edited it, and uploading it. And the reason, if you're asking why she's in a wheelchair, Furry had a false PPA filed on her a few days or a couple days ago, and Glendale police arrested her, and during the handcuffing and going to the ground, injured Furry. So her knee's all messed up, and she had to rent an electronic wheelchair to help her get around. Now, she can briefly stand up and walk, but it's painful. I saw that yesterday when I was helping her break down the wheelchair and put it in her car at the end of the video when we were leaving the area. You can call Furry gimpy for a while. She's very uncomfortable. So she's using this electric wheelchair to still be on the road doing audits and doing public photography and making content for you, even in her painful condition. And by the way, if you didn't know, they handcuffed her, searched her, turned her cameras off, took her to the police station, and then backpedaled and said, "Oh wait, no, you're not under arrest. You're not under arrest, Furry. You're not. We just detained you. We handcuffed you, turned off your equipment, injured you, threw you in the back of a squad car, and drove you away from the scene to the police station just under a detainment. And now we're going to wheelchair you out and dump you off on the curb." And then she had to Uber back to her car or whatever, Lyft or Uber or whatever. So yeah, I'm sorry. No matter what you want to call it, you arrested her on a false PPA. Glendale PD, you're screwed. You're screwed. Hey, Zombie, I see you. Sorry.
Hey, you forgot me. You're not paying attention.
How long have you been yelling and screaming and waving at me like that?
Well, I put myself backstage as soon as I posted that about Furry, but it was actually it looked like she had just finished up a live stream.
Oh, was she? Is what it was. Live? Oh,
She was. I went to check it out because I said, "What? I didn't get a notification of her live," but it was in my feeds.
How long have you been listening right now? Were you here for the affidavit?
No, I heard you, but I didn't hear her. I just went to see what else was going on. I saw that Furry was live, and I said, "Furry's live." I didn't get a notification, but then I clicked on it, and it was already over.
Gotcha.
So I just came back and said, because I knew but I didn't know she was even going to get out because of that. So I was surprised about the wheelchair.
But were you here when I was going through the affidavit on Kyle Rittenhouse?
Yes, kind of, sort of, but I was paying attention more to what was going on in the chats, making sure nobody was.
Okay.
But I did save the link so I could read it later.
I'll say it again. If you're ever going to lay out a case that you wanted to get dismissed or found not guilty, that's the affidavit. They laid it out so beautifully for a self-defense claim. It's laughable. It is. It's funny. I believe it was self-defense, but you know what? It is what it is. I don't believe the kid should have been there in the first place, let alone open carrying a long gun, but it is what it is. He'll end up probably just with that charge sticking. But I believe he's going to be eventually found not guilty on.
My question is, was it actually a long gun or was it a AR pistol? And sometimes they get the two mixed up sometimes.
They possibly. It looked to me like it
Because
was around.
I haven't seen any pictures. So
It to me from the pictures and videos I saw, it had a normal butt stock on it, which tells me it was a rifle.
okay.
Because remember, for it to be a pistol, it has to have that one stock, right? That actually wraps around your arm or your wrist.
I think it's supposed to have an arm brace. I
Yeah,
think.
one of those
Yeah.
arm brace things. Yeah, it looked like it had a normal butt stock on it. So if I remember right.
Also, last night was kind of interesting with News Now Patrick.
What's going on with Patrick? I've been so
Well,
busy with yesterday's
and
filming and
he, you know how he comes across sleeping police or security in cars,
yes, I've no he has a
and it
tendency to find them.
he's a sleeper magnet, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Well, last night he finds a security guard sleeping in the car. Security guard wakes up, pulls a gun on Patrick.
Wow.
Patrick calls 911 to report the incident to 911, and it calls 3 times to say, "Hey, why isn't anybody showing up?" Then finally, the local sheriff comes up, questions Patrick, handcuffs Patrick, throws Patrick in the car, tells him that, well, that guy's a security guard, and it told Patrick to shut the f up or whatever, and
Wow.
and Patrick was live just afterwards, but he just posted the mashup of from the live and the what you call it, the not live video.
The static
So
video.
static video. Thank you very much. I haven't had enough coffee yet this morning. If you care to beam me over a cup, that would be great.
My beamer's out of my transporter's out of commission right now.
Ah, shit. And but if you want to just go to his channel and bring up that video and post and share it, and that you're more welcome to. I'm sure he won't mind. He probably wants people to get to see this.
I'll think about it. I'm actually about to end the stream here in a little while.
So. It was only about 8 minutes long.
It's only 8 minutes.
Yeah, maybe 9 tops.
Oh, here. Let's see. Let's take a look. I don't want to play the whole thing. Maybe we can just cut to the meat and potatoes of it. Subscriptions. Home. Hey, there's furries. 10 minutes ago. There's furries.
Yeah, I hate it when it tells you someone's live and then you click on it and it's not live.
Let's see.
Or you see someone posted something and you think it's live and it's not live.
All right, let's open this up. We'll take a peek. I'm gonna fast forward it here.
You don't want to fast forward it too much because a lot of it's right at the beginning.
No, yeah, I know. Here, let me share.
Where you see the security guy asleep and waking up and brandishing the firearm.
Chrome. Share. All right. There we go. Let's take a look.
Bring it full screen.
I could. I don't know if I want to bring up full screen. I think I'll just leave it like that for now.
Okay. You could probably still see stuff.
Oh wait. Damn it. Let me do this again. Damn. I don't think I clicked on share audio. You guys couldn't hear it.
I think I heard audio.
Let me just do it again. Just to be safe, because I know I hadn't clicked it. You probably heard it through my head.
Okay, maybe, I don't know. I thought I heard some audio.
All right, now it's back up. Let's play. So he's coming up to the car right here.
Yep, you see the guy asleep.
Come on, that's dangerous to do.
I know.
so
Ooh,
dangerous.
now,
Look now.
What are you doing?
Look.
Hey, don't brandish a weapon. What are you doing? What the hell? He just pulled out a gun.
All right, he runs away.
He's a security guard.
Okay, listen, I don't have any weapon. Oh no, I'm the one that called. He's got the weapon.
Yeah, he's a security guard.
Okay, listen. He's the one that pulled out his weapon. Stay over there, sir. What's that? Oh no, I'm the one that called. He's got the weapon.
Yeah, he's a security guard.
Okay, listen, I don't have any weapons, all right? What are you doing here?
I got called here.
What are you doing, sir? What are you doing? Where's the sergeant at? I don't have any weapons. You can pat me down. That's it. That's a radio. You can pat me down. That's all you can do. So why are you putting cuffs on me? I'm not.
So he's the complainant. He's the one that called
three
and-
times.
3 times, and they come and immediately grab him.
Yep. And but watch this deputy. Listen to what Patrick says and listen to this deputy.
All right. That's
Oh
good.
man, your mouth will drop. I'm sure.
All right. I'm just trying to add a little bit of context here. So he
Yep.
he
Yeah.
walks up to a car of a sleeping individual.
Yep.
I would have backed away. I would have just backed away because right then and there and did that's. He's lucky. He's lucky he didn't get shot. Somebody wakes up and sees some guy at his window like that.
Yeah, I know.
You don't know what that person's going to do. It could go bad really fast.
Yes.
And it almost did. All right. Let's keep going.
Down, that's all you can do.
But this deputy is the real dickhead.
So why are you putting cuffs on me? I'm not under arrest.
You're detained. Glad you know your rights.
Are you serious? Why are you going in my pockets? Guys, they're going in my pockets. This is unbelievable. I'm the victim. I called 911. What are you doing? Kohler? Is that how you say it?
So, all right. So the cop shows up, handcuffs him, and instead of a pat down, he's going in Patrick's pocket, which supposedly is a no-no.
Yes.
You can pat down for weapons, and if you feel something that you truly believe is a weapon, not a pipe, not a wallet, not fingernail clippers. If you truly believe that you just patted on something that's an actual weapon, then you can dig it out. But you can't just immediately start going into somebody's pocket.
Yep. But some of the stuff that this deputy says,
I know,
is unprofessional.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Sorry.
We got it.
Yep.
All right. Let's keep going here.
What are you doing, dude?
Now, how far are we going to wait for these statements, though?
I think it's coming up.
Huh?
So the officer has the equipment.
Yes.
Probably doesn't even know it's recording at this point. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't.
I think he does, but I'm
think he woke up with a handgun.
Yeah,
So
he's a security guard, sir.
Okay, but you can't point a gun at someone that's aggravated assault.
You just came up to him. I'm clear on the law. So watch who you're talking to, buddy.
No, he's me. He came up to me and cuffed me.
watch what you're talking.
'Cause you're not
Who
aware
you're
of
talking
your
to.
former security guard. I didn't know that, sir. That's why you're detained.
I told you that. And I told you
Okay, so if somebody commits murder and tells me, "Oh, I didn't shoot him," I should believe him, right?
What did I tell you?
No, so shut up.
Okay, I told you.
God damn. Fucking idiot.
Wow. This cop's having a bad day.
What's going
I
on?
told you your mouth would drop.
Now, Patrick, here.
Wow.
Now.
Wow. Let's see if there's any.
That was it. He's just giving you an update. I'm going to show you his wrist,
Wow.
and
Yeah,
because the guy
That's an attitude.
put the cuff. That deputy is definitely going to be fucked up. I think as soon as Patrick's attorney, Patrick's supposed to have called his attorney and at today. But I don't know if his attorney's actually in, but he might have his attorney's direct line for any time.
Yeah, that yeah. Somebody calls the police multiple times, is the complainant, and the cop shows up, grabs the complainant, handcuffs him, detains him without without any reasonable suspicion. And that's we don't. Maybe the security guard called and made false claims as well. Who knows? But because who knows? But he goes into Patrick's pocket, a Fourth Amendment violation under detainment. You're allowed to pat down when you detain somebody, as long as it's for a lawful detainment.
Yes.
Oh no, this is crazy. You could tell that cop was in a bad mood, and in my opinion, he just effed up. So it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. And it without when Patrick told him that he was the complainant.
Yeah, he did.
And it's, I mean, some people think that we shouldn't ever, because of what we do, we should never call the police. I mean, under that circumstances, hell yeah. And there's no excuse for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I mean, I wouldn't just call the police to just try to elicit a response, but under a real circumstance like this, yeah. And just because we film the police doesn't mean that we don't deserve their protection too. And we're not anti-cop. We're just anti-bad cop.
Yeah.
At least that's my belief.
I'm looking. Give me a second. I'm scrolling through my videos because I can't remember how far back it was.
I mean, that was almost like the asshole that got you when you were just filming for Furry, and he walks behind you and then immediately goes into your pockets.
All right. Hey, I got to wrap this stream up. I got to contact YouTube. It looks like even though my video that Darren put in a privacy complaint on, even though it didn't violate the terms and policies, it looks like they removed it anyways. So I'm going to raise hell. So I got to
which video was that?
It's still on my list, but it's not being shown. It's been removed. Glendale police kidnap YouTube vlogger. It's the one where Furry got arrested. And it's got that guy that called the police, but there's no private information being shown. So I got to get on live chat. I got to get on this because I got to raise hell, because whoever reviewed it did their job wrong. It did not violate any terms. So
they already said it did. You already have a letter saying it didn't violate any terms.
Well, I had already talked to chat, but chat won't really. The creator support chat isn't affiliated with the review team, so I'm gonna have to.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. So the right hand doesn't know what the left hand.
Exactly, and the review team. All right, if you go, you know what? I'm going to let's see if I can bring this up. We can talk about this, all right? Because this is going to happen to other people, and I will get this thing reinstated. Believe me. When it's all said and done. Well, hold on. Let me open up my email, because I'll show you the case subject, whatever. YouTube in which an individual is uniquely identifiable by image, voice. It says image, voice, full name, social security number, bank account. Yes, but it also says that just because you can recognize yourself in a video, it does not constitute a violation. Just because somebody's on your video is not a privacy violation. Whoa, that's not the video.
And it shouldn't matter anyways. And that if you're out in public,
a first name without additional contact or fleeting image, for example, would not likely justify as a uniquely identify. Well, they consider it a fleeting image. So what's a fleeting image? Just panning over somebody,
I
not
guess.
focused on them. That's bull. That's bull. Because they even say in their privacy guidelines. Let me open up the privacy guidelines.
Because if that's true, then news media can
exactly
be strict.
What does uniquely identifiable information mean? To be considered uniquely identifiable, there must be enough information in the video that allows others to recognize you. Please note that just because you can identify yourself within the video, it does not mean you are uniquely identifiable to others. A first name without additional context or a fleeting image, for example, would not likely qualify as uniquely identifiable. So what's their definition of a fleeting image? What's, if you Google that fleeting image, what's I guess we have to put in definition. Definition, fleeting image is you describe something which lasts only a very short time. Well, what's a very short time? I mean, I think it was 13 seconds. I think he was all in the video for 13 seconds. Did they consider that a fleeting image? That's just stupid. Well, I'm still gonna fight it. Because it says
and I still think that it doesn't matter how long it is. I don't think it matters if you have their name. And if you're out in public and that there's no expectation of privacy, and YouTube needs to learn that.
I'm going to reply that 7 seconds to 22 seconds. What's 22 minus 7? 15 seconds. 15 seconds he was in the video. When the video was like 2 or 3 minutes. And he was out in public. And there was no identifiable information. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to reply to this. So, all right, I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to raise hell with YouTube over this. So, what I'll probably do is I will re-edit that video and maybe put them on there for what? 2 seconds? Is that a fleeting? Is 2 seconds fleeting?
No, maybe you ought to piss them off more and loop it. Loop his image.
No.
Sorry, I'm ornery that way. Someone tells me I can't do something, I want to piss them off more.
So maybe I can re-upload it and I'll blur out his face, but maybe not for the full 15 seconds. Like have his face there for like 2 seconds and then blur it out. Because it's a fleeting image, right? Fleeting, it doesn't. There is no time frame on fleeting image. Come on, give me a break. So, all right, I got to contact YouTube, see if I can get this worked out because that's BS in my opinion. It does not violate, and that was my concern when I talked to somebody in chat, like the day I got that email. I'm like, look, according to your own guidelines, this does not violate privacy out in public, and it's got no information. It's got no name, no phone number, no full address, no social security number, no ID, no nothing. It's just he's got a short clip inside a larger video. Oh, our team is fully trained on that, and yada yada yada. I'm like, okay, make sure they do their job correctly. Well, guess what? They didn't do their job correctly. So just because somebody's pictured in a video out in public is not a privacy. It does not fall under their own guidelines. It says it right there.
Nope, they just don't like us. And it's so they anybody else will let post a picture and that kind of stuff. I mean,
no, I'm not going to let it stand, even if I have to re-edit that video and repost it. So if anybody sees that video pop back up, but blurred out with the majority of his face blurred out, but you'll still see it for a fleeting moment. Don't get mad that I reposted it because it's It's a fight I'm going to have with YouTube, and who knows? Maybe down the line I'll get my channel shut down. Who cares? It's the principle of the thing. It's plus, you know what? In their own guidelines, make exceptions. Let's see. Let me open that back up. You know, they even have in their own guidelines that they make exceptions for news. What's my channel name? Junkyard News. I was posting a video, news that Furry Potato had been falsely arrested and kidnapped and taken to the police station. It was a news story. Yeah. So let me see if I could. How can you address the complaint? You can remove the reported content completely from the site. If someone's full name or other personal information is listed in title, description, or tags your video, you can edit this by going to you can blur the faces of individuals who appear in the video. Incomplete methods of removal are not acceptable and include making a video private, as the uploader can change the status from private to public at any time. All right, so it all depends on what their time frame as far as fleeting goes, I guess. I don't know. But where does it say? Somewhere it actually talked about news. For content to be considered for removal, an individual must be uniquely identifiable by image, voice, full name, government identification number, bank account number, contact information, home address, email address, or other uniquely identifiable information. We also take public interest, newsworthiness, and consent into account when determining if content should be removed for policy violation. YouTube reserves the right to make the final determination of whether a violation of the privacy guidelines has occurred. So even if their own guidelines say you're okay, if one of their reviewers doesn't like the video, they'll just do what they want anyways.
Exactly. It sounds like it.
Yeah, that's bull crap. All right.
So it's biased.
Yeah.
Whatever, redactions or whatever.
But it's double talk. It's double talk too. Because what does uniquely identifiable mean? To be considered uniquely identifiable, there must be enough information in the video that allows others to recognize you. And it says, please note that just because you can identify yourself within the video does not mean you are uniquely identifiable to others. So just because you can recognize yourself doesn't mean you're uniquely identifiable to YouTube or others. So to me, just your what, a 7-second clip of you on the phone is uniquely identifiable? That's just bull crap with no other information. Which means that anybody that finds your video out in public and sees themselves in your video can have your video taken down. Anyone. This has such huge ramifications for any content creator or First Amendment activist or anything on YouTube. Now, a long time ago, I had one of these privacy complaints on my channel, and it was a cop, and I fought it, and I won because it was a public servant in the performance of their duty. And I even told them, I said, there is no expectation of privacy in public. Now, maybe they treat public servants different than just somebody walking down the street. But this is a huge ramification for content creators. And
there's another auditor who's doing trying to create a new platform like Friends in Code. You know Friends in Code?
Yes, it's familiar.
Okay, well, Friends in Code's trying to create a new platform called TrueTube, but there's another channel, Tyrant Slayer Studios, and they are trying to create their own platform with their own servers, and that to allow where they're not going to make it so that you have to edit anything and everything is fair. no restriction. I mean, except for what's already illegal, like child porn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what we do, and it is perfectly. However we want to post it, we can post it without being told, "Oh, you can't do that." So check out him. Keep an eye open for what he's also looking for someone to create Android and iPhone apps that can be used as we use Streamlabs or the YouTube app itself to record and upload stuff.
All right.
But
I'm gonna do
Tyrant Slayer Studios.
I would check it out. I'm gonna end the stream.
Okay, man.
I got emails to write and hell to raise.
Don't forget your woman has a honeydew stuff you got to do too. So
I know.
you got to find some time for that too.
I know.
So you don't go have sleep out in your where you're doing your streaming from instead of where in the house.
No worries. All right. Hey, Zavi, thanks, man. We'll see you later.
Yep, man. Have a good one, man. Peace out.
Right.
Have a good one.
Later. All right. So yeah, we got Junkyard News has held a raise with YouTube. This cannot stand. This cannot stand. So a fleeting moment, huh? So if I was to go like this on the screen on my live chat, I mean, how long? This has been going on for 2 hours and 2 minutes, right? So if I was to open up this screen, go to my community tab, right? And share this screen. Let's see. Like this. Go. I want his video taken down. That guy right there. Whoop. Where'd it go? Just for a second. Look. That was a fleeting moment. It was on the screen for how long? A couple seconds, right? A fleeting moment. There you go. There you go. You made the live broadcast too, you dipwad. All right, I gotta send emails. I gotta raise hell. We're gonna end this. Everybody, thanks for being in the chat. I will go through my email, thejunkyardnews@gmail.com, and see if anybody who was the first to answer the quiz question, the contest question on this live stream, with the correct answer. Let's see if I did get anybody before we end this. Let's see if we did get any emails. No, it was not the Jason. Good try, man. It was not the Saddleback Station. It was not. But thank you for trying. That was his first. Jason Brown. Yeah, and then he replied it. Jason, it wasn't Saddleback. It wasn't Saddleback. Horeen Millar sent me the link. Oh boy, let's see. Sent me a link. Oh, look at this. I think we have a winner. We have a winner. We do. I can just say it right here. We have a wiener.
Well, I decided to come to Aliso Viejo.
Winner, chicken dinner.
And do a First Amendment test.
First Amendment test, Aliso Viejo, Orange County Sheriff's Police harassment.
For Aliso Viejo, right.
And this was the first time.
Orange County Sheriff.
We're going to skip ahead to the clip.
Right.
We're going to skip ahead to the clip.
Enjoying the day.
This guy right here.
Oh, I love my. Oh, I am a camoholic, sir.
This was
I
back
have more
in
camo than I have regular clothing.
2014.
What can I do for you today?
Well, I was just wondering.
Here it
it's kinda
comes.
Odd. You're from a police station.
Here it comes.
Camis. You got a camera. You're filming everybody.
Oh,
coming in and
come
out.
on. I'm just sitting here on a piece of.
Hands out of your pockets, okay?
There it is,
Am I
right
being
there.
detained? I'm just sitting here on a piece of.
Hands out of your pockets, okay? Everybody.
Oh,
coming
come
in and out.
on. I'm just sitting here on a piece of.
Hands out of your pockets, okay?
Am I being detained?
Well, I just like to talk.
Am I being detained?
No.
Am I free to go?
Yeah.
Fine, then I will take a few steps away from you, sir.
Okay. I just enjoy the.
Winner, chicken dinner. Right there. Yes. Yes. Hope I pronounced that right. Horeen Miller. Let me reply to your email. Winner, email me a shipping address for your Visa gift card. Winner, chicken dinner. Oh, I spelled gift wrong. Darn it. There we go. Thanks. Junkyard News. They put some smiley faces on there. There we go. Bam. All right. I just replied to Horeen Miller's email. Congratulations. You won the $25 gift card. Thank you. All right, everybody. Thanks everybody that watched the stream. Feel free to comment. I know you guys have been in live chat blowing it up, and I didn't have a chance to see everybody's comments on the live chat. But feel free if you have anything you want to say about the anything that we went over in this video. Feel free to make a comment when the video renders, because not everybody can see. I guess the live stream doesn't come up right away, so you can always comment on the video itself after it renders. So thanks everyone. Until next time, the Junkyard News, and we're gonna say peace out, see ya, and out of here. Should we do the old peace sign? Wee.